everybody, welcome back to another Phoenix Wright video. Rachel here, continuing with what I think is the last part of episode 3. We'll see soon enough. This will be interesting, because this is getting kind of wild. January 8th, 9:46 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, Note 1. That's true. And we still haven't solved the super court yet. Oh, yeah, of course. No, that's determination. Hey, detective. How do you know she was stretched? Oh. What was I thinking? Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. She got so many they're all on the floor. Hey, wait a minute. Well, what do you know? Doesn't have a label either. For ears, you mean? What was Glenn L's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on those? That's going to weaken its impact as evidence. Today's trial. I'm going to expose that guy for what he's done, and my name isn't Phoenix Wright. District 8. Leave to read English. January 8, 10 a.m. District Court, Court 4. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh Lord, this is not gonna go well. Yeah, I don't blame him. Nobody can tell if he's male or female. Now he's the target. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Does nothing intimidate this guy? It says... Mirror? What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening.
Objection!
The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. Let's think back to Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw that as a reflection in the mirror, it means the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right. Unfortunately, that's where we ran into a contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in the mirror, why is it the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head?
Objection!
Of course he had to get in on this. Are we talking about your coffee or something else? I broke the sworn testimony. that's the worst impression of Kudo ever. There we go. I hate this guy. This is getting kind of nuts. Ay, ay, ay.
Objection!
This piece of evidence contradicts what we've heard, Your Honor. This photo clearly shows something that theoretically shouldn't exist. Pretty obvious this is what should not be in the picture. Your Honor, I'm telling you there should have been no vase on this table, because it could contradict this piece of evidence.
Take that!
There's one thing that was demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting, and yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not in fact sitting at the table next to the victim at all.
Objection!
Exactly. There's only one conclusion we could draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribulations that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie.
Objection! Objection!
Unfortunately, Mr. Kudo, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Right. If I can answer this, I'll be closer to the truth. I can feel it. There's one more than just one, Maya. Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man at the victim's table, and there was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. And I think I know the reason why nothing in the case is adding up. Yes, sir. The reason behind all this is simple. The case is riddled with contradictions, yet there's one simple answer that clears them. The incident Mr. Kudo saw and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't even Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter, a fake, pretending to be Mr. L. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left ear. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. I know, he's gonna contradict me again. No, maybe not. Yes. Someone pretending to be Glenn Elg. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the coffee poisoning, all for the express purpose of making a witness out of Victor Kudo. Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... there was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo the fake poisoning.
Objection! Objection!
No, simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath. Was there in fact a fake at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that he tell the whole truth about what happened. Yeah, Phoenix, good job. Yeah, that's not cool. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this.
Hold it!
Was he alone at his table as well? Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers differently. She swears there was another man at the table. What kind of coffee is this guy drink? Hearing Maya say that makes her seem smart all of a sudden.
Hold it!
By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct? Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time. Maybe I should ask about that in more detail. So you're saying not much time elapsed between when the victim and Mr. Kudo arrived? But that still leaves the possibility something happened during that gap. By your recollection, how much time would you say elapsed? 2 minutes? That's it? I knew I should have pursued this. Hold on.
Hold it!
I'm not reading it again. Out of curiosity, about what time was it when he arrived? Just after 2, huh? I'm glad one person's in a good mood.
Objection!
I'm afraid you finally got him, Mr. Armstrong. At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Every week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2, correct? That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m., and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. Now, supposedly, the victim made some noise when it was announced he won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. Because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point. This victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a rusty eardrum, catching a show that was already over, there's only one conclusion you can draw from this. This victim was a fake, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yet, yes, there were 2 Glen Elgs at Tribulations that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer, and the fake, acting out the events for Kudo to see.
Objection!
What is this, Music Theory 101? I don't believe I'll have to spell this out for the court, but at that time, the real Glen Elg was already dead.
Objection!
What? A missing body? Excellent. I bet I can. Yes, Your Honor. Evidence? I thought I had him. But he's turned it around and backed me into a corner. It would have been too dangerous to take the body outside. Obviously, the body must have been hidden somewhere inside Tribulations. Yes, sir. The exact location was here. Where's the evidence? Well, he's got a point on that one, but I know.
Take that!
Mr. Armstrong, do you recognize this bottle? Interestingly enough, it was found in the kitchen of Tribulations. But this bottle doesn't contain aromatherapy oil, Mr. Armstrong. No, it contains a medication. I'm sure everyone remembers, don't they? Mr. Elk visited a otolaryngal... I can't say that. And was given medicine. The defense had the contents of the bottle analyzed. I have the results. The contents of the bottle matched the prescription given to Mr. Elk. Mr. Elk's murderer hid the body in the restaurant kitchen, at which point this bottle fell out of his pocket. Mr. Armstrong, when the incident occurred, didn't you say you were in the kitchen? Yes, you know what I'm talking about. It's you who hid the body. You did a good job pretending to defend my client. However, you were setting her up to take the fall behind her back. Oh, here we go, Gazelle. You have any slice idea how many cups you've had by now? Why do they always say in the movie? What do they always say in movies? I got a bad feeling about this. Let's try a different question then. When Mr. Elk died, was he really the only person at the table? I knew it. There's just one more thing I need to do. I gotta break this guy and get him to tell us the name of the real killer.
Objection!
Let's end this dance ring around the rosy. This is the one you've been talking about. I don't know, maybe a month ago in this court. This is Furio Tigre. He's a manager of a loan office called Tenderlender. There's no point in trying to hide it. I know you couldn't go against him, at least not while you had this on you. Oh, I gotta find the contract. Where the fuck is the contract?
Take that!
A $500,000 loan from a black market loan shark. And you had no way of paying it back, did you? That's why you were forced to do anything he told you. I think we can now safely say the man who forced your hand was Furio Tigre. How the... Well, he does have a point. He really does. He really does have a point on that one. You never know how it could go. I think we're getting near the end. I wish I could agree. When I cross-examined Mr. Armstrong just now, he said he was just doing what the tiger told him to do. But Godot picked up on it, remember? At least I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced. He pointed out that without the truth, we don't know if what... Without proof, we don't know if what he testified is true. I don't know, but if that's the line the prosecution takes, we could be in trouble. I get the feeling we don't have the case-making evidence we're gonna need. Detective! Never mind about the hair, just calm down. No kidding. Well, an hour? The trial will be reconvened by then. True, without some kind of trump card to pull out the bag, we're stuck. You said you could get a fingerprint analysis done in an hour? In that case, would you mind checking the prints on this for me?
Take that!
If you're gonna backstage, could you find out whose prints are on this? Yeah, I think it's time we solve the mystery who the prints are on it belong to. I'll get this to the lab. Just make sure you don't lose before I get back. Yeah, thanks, Gumshoe. This is pretty much the final showdown. Yeah, no kidding. Named him? The guy's name may be Furio Tigre. Come on. Don't hide under the table, Maya, unless there's room for me too. Who would have guessed the fear would induce a bad Brooklyn accent in the judge? No, of course not. It was the judge. Your Honor? Godot called you. Maybe I should have brought a diaper with me today. Yeah, this little girl who's hiding under a fucking table. Shut up, Maya. Lowlife? Me? That's one thing I'm not gonna sign. Yes, Your Honor. Come out from under the dare already, would you? Are you sure about that? We're talking about 1 month ago, you know. Sharp? Do you mean Viola? There he goes again. What the tiger did all December isn't the issue. What's important is what he was doing that day. If you would mind going into a little more detail.
Objection!
1 moment. Sorry about that. Looks like I'm popular today. Phone calls after phone calls. Jeez. Anyway, no, it's essential we established the witness's alibi correctly. The victim was killed on December 3rd. Were you in the office that day too? Don't let an animal be a man, Your Honor. Ask him yourself.
Objection!
Mr. Tigre, you claim you didn't know Mr. Glenn Elg, but it appears he knew you. Mr. Elg left a little note on his calendar. Meet with the tiger. The date, December 3rd. So, Mr. Tigre, I submit that you did know Mr. Glenn Elg. Because on the very day of the incident, you met with him. Sorry? That's one compliment I can do that. He's lying through his teeth. He never actually met the victim? That's gotta be a lie. Time I nailed him. Bullshit. Yes, Your Honor. God.
Objection!
Mr. Tigray, is there something you... Oh, I didn't catch it. We found them in your office at Tender Linder. They're from that restaurant. If you've really never been to Tribulations before. What was the book of the restaurant's matches doing on your desk? What? God, this is getting annoying. This close to proving it. He did meet Glenn L. that day, and he did put the poison in coffee. He must have. Yes, Your Honor. Oh, doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here?
Objection!
You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you? Well, I'm something of a lie detector. And no one escapes me. I think it's time we got something straight. These are the floor plans of the crime scene. Yeah, the door's over here. You wouldn't have been able to see it. You said you were standing at the entrance? From here, your field of vision would have covered something like this. Unfortunately for you, it's not possible. If the court would think back, you remember between each of the tables is a tall partition. Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So, from the entrance to Tribulations, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat, but you did see the victim that day because you met him.
Objection! Objection!
But the defense just proved the point to be moot. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo wasn't Glenn Elgin, but a fake. In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade. Or charade, whatever.
Take that!
Obviously, the killer is him. No one else could have done it. Oh no, I'm hiding. No way.
Objection!
Very impressive, Mr. Girl, waiting for my absence to launch your attack. It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo saw two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenn Elg, and the waitress from behind. I think the conclusion's obvious. If the Glenn Elg was the killer in disguise, Then surely it's possible the waitress is also part of the show. The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident, and someone used her fainting to hatch a plan to pin the murder on her.
Take that!
Her name's Viola Cadaverini. She's a employee of Tenderlander. Where was I? Oh yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, stated the following. There are just too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears this up. The whole incident took place twice. Brief, once for real and once for show. And he is the only person who could have done it. Is you. What do you mean? Something to think about. Troublemaker. That's faster than twice. $100,000 is twice his principal. His motive? He has to have one. Waitress? You mean the girl with the Maybe I should push a little on this. What do you mean things would have been over and done with? Tiger's motive, huh?
Objection!
So you intended to get the $100,000 Mr. Elk owed you, correct? Unfortunately for Mr. Elk, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were after. Oh, the moneylender was after money, but money in a totally different league. The kind that a single disc like this would get. A computer virus, Your Honor, called the MC Bomber. A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer. I guess the beard isn't the only part of him that's from the Stone Age. I'll explain it later. Right now, that's its important point. A virus like this would be worth several million on the black market. Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business, but in this case, the very fact that Glenn Elk had no way to repay it's crucial. He was a programmer, a highly skilled one. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elk put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
Exactly. Of course he could, provided he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear. In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, right? Involving a car and a scooter in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery. The papers document the treatment of the said woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you managed to somehow pay it in full. But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it. Indeed, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini. Bruno Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of underworld activities in the city, and grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, yes? It makes sense. You were desperate to get the $1 million he demanded of you. So desperate, in fact, you decided to sacrifice Glen Elk to pay it. On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on the CD. Glen Elk had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigre would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, neither can I. The lottery went. Exactly at the 11th hour, Mr. Elk won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigre with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least, no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means. He killed Glen Elk and then made his next move to frame Maggie for the crime. Mr. Tigre posed as Glen Elk, while Violetta, or Viola, played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Objection! Objection!
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Godot? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too, $500,000 in fact. He had no choice but to go along with the plan. I agree. Despite your appearance, you're very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out. Consider yourself insulted. Mr. Tigre, you didn't just pose as a victim that day. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me. The truth. That's because he wasn't real.
Objection! Objection!
Have you no pride?
Objection!
Your Honor? What? Want a bet? All the man had to do was chase him, but I was this close. What about the small bottle? If I just had one more piece. One more piece. Nope, there he is. That's him. He made it. Sorry it took so long. Isn't it obvious? It's the final piece of evidence. Made it just in time. The results. Got the prints from the medicine bottle. You betcha. Clear as crystal, all of their Furio Tigre's prints. What's with it? I know. Look, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on the bottle. But we need to produce irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glen Elk's coffee. He's already admitted he met the victim. The fact his prints are on the bottle, that really doesn't make the difference. on. I wish it was. I'm sure works our way and use it. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste. Well, I know I can't prove anything new. In fact, maybe she thinks he's got me. He'll let his guard down.
Take that!
This is it. Your Honor, naturally the court's already aware of the contents. However, interesting new information came. We have clearly ID'd the fingerprints on it, belonging to Mr. Tigger. Except one man. One person in the courtroom's dear end would be in the dark. Phony trial, phony lawyer, phony clues. Everything about this case is phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for phony evidence. Mr. Tigray, this is a piece of evidence that'll prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains... This bottle contains potassium cyanide. The poison used to kill Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this bottle. And the bottle, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that? What? No, this is the bottle we found traces of poison. I think you just fucked up, buddy. Got him. And he just admitted it. You just fucked up, buddy boy. Got him. Is this the bottle you're talking about? Don't you realize what you just said? You were summoned to the court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. But just now you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison. You said... Sure, the last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. The phony trial, the phony lawyer, it was all played out by you. Biggest phony of all. Oh boy. There it is. That's how you know you caught him. That's how you know you got him. Why is everything dark? What? Why does he always throw coffee at me? He always throws fucking coffee at my head. Yes, she was. Good job. Not guilty. Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger. Detective. Wait. Wait. And he ran. Poor guy. Looks like she still doesn't want to... Yeah, Maya's right. I should help him out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie, you know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this. He didn't have any choice. He's a detective. He had to report the facts. I gotta prove to her Gumshoe really cares. I know, I'll give her a little gift.
Take that!
Here. A gift from Gumshoe, made with a lot of love. Yeah, trial dragged on a bit, didn't it? I think he would like it if you did. So the case of the face accusations surrounding Maggie have been cleared. And who knows? I went too fast to get that. Ta-da! Edgeworth? Cool, cool. But that's the next episode, and that'll be coming tomorrow. And that was the end of episode 3. Phoenix kind of bluffed his way out of that one, didn't he? But it worked. The guy opened his big mouth. Sometimes that's all it takes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time with whatever. Bye!